Sideline of goal. Blake Widow's doing it. They're gonna take. He's gonna bring down Bernie. Alone with a double kill. Dropping fast. Bonavoid's there. He's still alive. Wait, second slide. He's got one side. He's got a second. He's taking it. They're overtime on three. They're all dead.
Hello everyone and good morning and welcome back to the Summit 2 by G2A.com. We have made it to the last match here for the C Division, and we'll find out which team, the first team that had fought their way through to make it here to the Summit House now between First Departure after upsetting Team Malaysia, now going against Invasion.
Is it really morning, 4:30 a.m.?
It's bright and early here, at least on the Pacific side of things. I don't think the sun's out yet, but
Sun will be rising, though, that's for sure. And by the time it's over, someone's coming to L.A. It's exciting. It's not Malaysia. They went undefeated in the group stage, but they did not have it where it really counted in the playoffs, man. They got 2-0'd by First Departure. Then I think they had that third game. If Mushi itemized correctly, chose his spots better, I think they win that game. But he didn't. They fall short. Here First Departure are.
Well, so hopefully a lesson learned for them. I'm sure we'll see Team Malaysia a lot more in other divisions and tournaments, but their run with Summit 2, it's long over, and just wishful thinking at this point is we'll go ahead and without further ado, we'll just jump right into the draft for our first match here of this best of 5. Invasion Esports now, they open up, they get a hold of their Brewmaster Razor combo. First Departure, they grab a hold of the Centaur Warrunner, Skywrath Mage, Vengeful Spirit. And in this time, it's a flip of the script. Invasion, they have the Naga ban. They're not one probably to run a whole lot of Naga, so we'll probably just see the respectful ban. I wouldn't be surprised throughout this whole series.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to against Miracle. If you don't run the hero and you don't have a very, very good game plan for dealing with it, you just ban that out. One hero that was ignored, that Razor. I'm a little surprised that it's not something Malaysia run. It's just a strong hero. It suits their generally early to mid-game oriented aggression pretty well, but they tried to go for more of the late game shenanigans. We saw that backfire for them multiple times throughout the tournament. The Tiny Wisp game was a total disaster. I think they were running a Medusa that game. In the previous series against First Departure, tons of horrible misplays from them. More in this latest series, and well, Razor is just such a strong hero. You can push early, you can take the fights then, you can try to win late. It's a very versatile pick, and I think that's the best strategy versus First Departure. Take the fight to them early. Don't let them get to late game because they don't make that many mistakes late. And honestly, it's very unusual for a team in Southeast Asia. Normally, these teams excel at early to mid game aggression. The overall pace of the games has really slowed down in the region. In general, you see teams taking games late, but I wouldn't say that they play them that polished. They're farming a lot. They're running late game oriented drafts, but they're not doing it that crisply compared to some of the top Chinese teams or Western teams have in the past. So I really like the way Invasion matches up on paper in general against First Departure. Now, that's all in theory crap. In the real world, First Departure is not drafting their normal style. They go for a Centaur here. Skywrath and Venge, very early to mid-game aggression in their own right, and now they'll follow up with that Invoker pick. So, very similar to the draft we saw from Malaysia in their last game, and I love this type of draft. Huge burst against the Brew. You've got Ancient Seal to prevent him from ulting, and I think First Departure are set up very well for this particular game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, and with that Invasion, they grab a hold of Shadow Demons. With the second time today we've seen the Mirana Shadow Demon combo. Last time it was in use, I believe it was First Departure in the very first game that they had grabbed a hold of it, and that was the game we saw Team Malaysia take them out of their comfort zone, do the early and mid-game heavy pressure death ball strat that could very well be First Departure's weakness and overall game plan is how they like to play it. So this time, though, as you already pointed out, this is a bit uncharacteristic of a First Departure kind of a setup. They get the Invoker now, but really no huge late game potential that we come to see typically on your First Departure, though that I could imagine being filled here by your fifth grab. Could possibly be the Miracle Hero, but I think they have a great foundation. The Vengeful Spirit grab at this point, it's a bit interesting. She seems more niche if you want to get a hold of her as a counterback towards someone like a Bat Rider or a Faceless Void, but they get her herself. She still offers great utility, being able to go for big clutch saves, has the Wave of Terror for a little bit of that extra minus armor flavor, and it looks like they are definitely stepping outside their comfort zone. They get a Slark here, more of a snowball kind of carry hero. All right. High Octane coming out from First Departure, it looks like.
Yeah, love this draft overall. Very aggressive, but they still have tons of late game potential. We see There was a Centaur in D2L today that had double heart, like 4.8 KHP. Wow. I think there's a Shiva's, Bleak Force. Centaur can go pretty damn late. Venge is a great late game support. Great pickoff potential. And Slark in the hands of Miracle, or even that Invoker in his hands, and the Slark perhaps in Polossons. Either way, this is a very scary draft. And I think they have enough burst that they can just punish a Razor and Brewmaster picks pretty heavily. So, with good, strong laning supports too, I'm not sure where the weak points are. They are running the Invoker. This is a hero that can be shut down pretty hard by early aggression. But if First Departure are wise, they'll either just park supports to back him up mid, or safe lane, depending on where they want to lane the Invoker. Or they'll just apply pressure of their own and force Invasion to kind of react to them. So, really liking the draft from First Departure and just the versatility they're showing here. And I think it might throw Invasion for a bit of a loop.
And we'll see if Invasion, if they do go more aggressive early with the Mirage Shadow Demon, they can punish that Invoker who could have a weaker early laning stage. And if he's taken down once, twice, how many times, he could be put into a bit of a tilt and trying to bounce on back. And we saw an Invoker not really be able to have a strong upshowing on the sands of Malaysia, but we'll see here. It's a Nature's Prophet. It's going to be the last grab for Invasion. Their late game also a bit questionable, and it looks like we could see a lot of action on this one. Wow, they get right on their heroes immediately and just hop right into the game here. This is going to be the first match now of the finals here in the C Division playoffs of the Summit 2 by G2A.com. One of these teams is going to be coming to the Summit House and duking out with the other winning teams from other regions, plus EG, the former champions. I'm looking forward to it here, as I'll just go ahead and just segue beautifully into our introductions here on the Radiant side. It's First Departure coming off a big upset, taking down Team Malaysia. It's Hana once more going to be playing the off-lane position Centaur Warrunner. We got Lubby playing the support Vengeful Spirit. We got Luca playing the support Skywrath Mage. Miracle is going to be playing the core Slark. They're moving as a unit towards the top lane. That does leave Polosan playing their core Invoker on the bottom lane here.
Little friendly banter between these two teams. They had some in the pregame lobby as well, and well, yeah, I guess they're not going to engage. So running through Invasion, they took down First Departure Dakota 2-0, convincingly stomped them in the winter bracket finals. That's how they made their way here. So for those who are wondering, there is no game advantage in this grand finals, but Invasion automatically win the coin toss. We'll see Secret getting the same advantage versus Cloud9 later today, which means you get to choose pick or side for game one. Your opponent makes their choice, and then we just alternate. So overall, if it goes the full 5 games, you'll have 3 games where you kind of get your preference. So not as much of an advantage as the one game, but should make for a very exciting final. So yeah, on Invasion, we've got your Brewmaster and FCFZ's capable hands. ADTR going to be playing the Mirana. That puts OK onto the support Shadow Demon. Kachik Imba, Muchi's old prodigy, now finding a new home here in the Malaysian squad. He'll be on Razor, and that does leave Ghost as your offlane Nature's Prophet.
So Nature's Prophet for now looks like he's just going to have a one-on-one kind of a matchup against this Invoker, but as I say, that Lubby is already hightailing it to that bottom lane. They want to add a bit extra pressure here on your Nature's Prophet, not allow him to get a whole lot out of it, but he does have, of course, that global presence. But already with 2 circlets on hand, he's going to go with the null tally kind of a build, being able to bring in more right-click, and we could see him add that global pressure and just get involved early in these engagements. So not looking to go more rat style early. And it's for now dual lane in the mid lane with Miracle, Slark, and Aluka on the Skywrath Mage just trying to harass back this Razor.
Yeah, you got to dual lane the Razor. You cannot just leave a melee hero in a 1v1 against Razor. He'll get wrecked. And Kachik Imba has gone for that casual point static link early. I'm not sure how much he'll level it up. He may want to go more for the Plasma Field since he's up against the dual lane, although right as I say that, it seems they just wanted to secure Miracle of his first wave or so. Now they're going to rotate Aluka towards top. So, looking at the offlanes for both teams, you've got Hana on the offlane Centaur. Very difficult lane for Centaur. If he gets disrupted, he's just toast. Now, with the Skywrath here, maybe that can change, but still, what's the Skywrath really going to do? You disrupt, you arrow, Brew walks up and claps if he's in range for that clap. If your Skywrath tanks the arrow, Skywrath dies. So, not the best support to have in this particular situation. Meanwhile, for Invasion, their offlane Prophet, more of a difficult kill. Venge has a good initiating stun, does have the boots, so perhaps with the boots can get in range. But if Prophet scouts and plays it well, it should not be a particularly easy kill.
Yep, it's very early to tell, but as far as CS goes, your Slark is on the top. Miracle benefiting from that initial dual start, gets him to 10-4 right now.
Top room, might have a go here.
The early contention at the 2-minute mark. It's a bounty. Okay, is just going to leave it. Oh, almost got it lost there to the center. Steps in. Oh, hoof stomp going to be avoided from the lead. There's Disruption, Arrow, follow-up here. Invasion, considering doing a little bit of a tussle, but with Skywrath right there, throws out the Arcane. Just a bit of footsie, but no one going to first place.
That's for sure. Well, in good news, Miracle, with that support he had early, is doing very well against the Razor. And
Lubby with the Haste Rune. They go on bottom. They started off with the Cold Snap, and now Lubby trying to right-click it, but they only get him down to half-life. They don't have enough oomph to really get him down, but just more harassment.
They do Sunstrike, so they might have that oomph soon. But yeah, looking at mid lane, Slark, one of the melee heroes don't match up that well against Razor, but he had the Poor Man Shield to start, he was pulled some regen, and he had support from the Skywrath Mage, so that's multiple ways that he's been helped or just matched up well, and Slark does have the leap, so it's a decent way to break those static links. Still, I would say Razor generally is going to have an edge here, but...
Arrow is going to catch. That's a down Miracle. That was just a nice setup coming out from ADTR, and it's going to allow for an easy cleanup, and your first blood is going to go to your Razor. Invasion, strike first, and get their mark on the board.
Really nice arrow. Yeah, no setup for that. Who needs Shadow Demon?
And they didn't have smoke, so, I mean, earlier I was going to say, well, they don't look like they're going to be moving as a two-man group, but it's just going to be done. But yep, there's a Disruption. Soul Catcher, can't quite catch there, but it's more than enough to quickly take down, and there's the global presence we were talking about from Nature's Prophet. They move on through, and they might get Hana here. They do! It's a 2 for special right now. Invasion.
ADTR pulling out his inner puppy, man. These arrows are just ridiculous. In the meantime, mid lane Miracle and Kachik Imba duking it out. They have the nukes for Miracle. He's going to go down, though. Kachik Imba with the massive outplay. 112 stolen damage. Miracle did not have the leap. It's only level 2. He had already used it and just couldn't get in range. Suddenly, now you've got a problem on your hands. Score 4-0. Free farm now can begin on your, or continue on your Brewmaster. They're going to get an early tower. He's rushing the Blink, so he'll have his Blink by the time this tower falls. Prophet can complete his null talismans, go towards that Blade Mail if he wants. Instead, he have another Disruption. Arrow coming through, and it hits again!
Oh, man, this could be back-to-back takedowns on your off-laner, and it is! Oh, we talk about how first departure, maybe their weakness is getting taken advantage of early and in the mid game. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Invasion. That's going to be the game plan. But
Luca had a courier kill. He doesn't go for it. He wants this Kachik Imba takedown. He will get it. I think he could have just right-clicked the courier twice and killed that and gotten that kill, but beggars can't be choosers. He'll take what he can get here.
They need it because now they finally do get themselves on the board here. Miracle needed that bit of assistance to take down the Razor. They were just getting so much out of that mid lane at that point. And top lane, taking down the tower. Brew, look who has a Blink Dagger now. Not even before he has the Primal Split. You know, it's like he just wants to blink in and clap at this point, but it's a little too deep, and he'll have to step back. But man, that's scary. 5 minutes, even before that, what might have been 4 minute 30-second Blink Dagger on Brew.
Yeah, in general, I'm not a big fan of just the naked Blink Rush because you just don't have the mana. Like, if you look at his mana pool right now, Thunderclap is 130, the Brewmaster Split is 125, so he needs to have completely full mana. There's no Magic Stick, no Wand, no Bottle, no Arcane. So FCFC, it's great that he's got this Blink, but now he still needs to farm Arcanes, or at least a Bottle before he really does much. Yeah, still, it's a fast forward.
Farming that stuff is easy.
Well, when the lane's empty, it's easy.
Yeah, so he's just like,
okay,
no
just
problem.
This lane.
He's like, I already met a nice early quota getting a hold of this Blink Dagger, though, so as soon as I get my level 6 and a little bit of the extra sustain or needed Arcanes, and things are going to get pretty exciting here for Invasion. And well,
also, they do have really fast Arcanes on OK, so I guess you could sort of take that back. With the Shadow Demon Arcanes, he should have mana for the most part.
And their offlaner, Centaur, is just out on the world, just trying to scout out runes for now, but he's only level 3 and way far away from where he needs to be if he wants to be able to find some farm, and being able to pull it back is it's all Invasion here at the start of this one. Razor finding his own bit of farm here in the mid lane. Hana's going to find a bit of solo XP there. Miracle's on the way back, and both teams not looking to go too aggressive at the time being. I mean, we saw some good arrows at the start here. ADTR is still planted in this mid lane.
They want to kill the wave with this plasma field. Then maybe Arrow. Nope, not going to go. Never mind. They just want to chill. I don't think they need to force anything. Brew Split's about to come online. You'll have your Brew Split with Arcane Boots soon, and the Blink Dagger. Prophet, not too far off his level 6. I honestly think if you're Invasion, you've had a great start, you just relax. Get your next items out. Kachik Imba, mech coming soon, it looks like. And once you have the mech and the Brew Split, then you go and just wreck First Departure, who will have no chance against that in a team fight.
Uh-oh, a surprise. Okay, walks, unfortunately, in the back end of a smoke gank, and they just turn around and go, what the hell? And take down that support pretty easy there. First Departure do come up with the kill there. It's a small one, but still a kill for a successful smoke gank towards the mid lane. They would have loved to gotten the Razor instead, obviously, but
there's a wrench in your plan. I mean, that is the one downside. If you're waiting for all these core items, then First Departure can try and disrupt you, but still, it's a pretty expensive rotation. 4 heroes, and they only get a Shadow Demon, who already bought his first big item anyway. So, it's a nice kill, but not the biggest deal.
So Razor is going to go for a Mechanism build here. He's got the headdress already thrown together in about 600 gold. His allies nearby spent a little bit extra mana for him. It's okay. Off his recent fall, will bounce right back in. Miracle takes himself down to half-life. Has to be a little bit cautious here, but now you have your Razor at level 8, still not putting anything invested into the Eye of the Storm. We'll see how long before Invasion want to press the pace here, because your Brew is now throwing together his basics. He's got the wand at least, but does have his level 7, and with that comes level 4 Clap plus your Primal Split. He already had that Blink Dagger. He wants to put it to use in this bottom lane. We'll see if Invasion can get it. They're swarming the tower right now, and Portable Invoker, does he have anywhere to go? He wants to at least get something here. That Sunspec's going to be well in behind as Nature's Prophet just goes right towards him, and they do take down the Invoker here. Invasion come out with a lot, and now with this momentum, they can go right towards the tier 1. It could be their second tower takedown.
Yeah, they can just go mid and do the exact same thing, because what are First Departure going to do? They have no Stampede, no Blink Dagger on the Centaur. Slark is terrible at fighting this early, with just no items and walking into the Brew Split. That's not going to happen. And they don't have really any deep push. Skyreth Mage and Venge do not clear waves. You can Howl Terror just try and draw the wave back, but that's about it. So, yeah, they're up against it. Mech will be coming very soon for your Razor. Buckler's complete, and to make matters worse, Miracle might get caught out here. Arrow just off the mark, but all his damage drained. Kachik Imba might be able to kill him. He's got that ult. He does have the ult, but he may be forced to use it. He's waiting for the next Plasma Field. Kachik. No, not gonna go for it. They found out Aluka as well.
Would be devastating damage if they can get it. 80 TR maybe trying to go for a secondary arrow, but we'll get spotted out. Now jumping in, immediately silenced though, and now the disruption going to fly on out. Miracle has to step away, very low on life. Your Primal Split is then going to come, but they had already taken down your support.
They have the split. They have the split though. They might go here for Miracle. Leap is available. He'll get clapped.
Oh, Miracle does make it to the low ground. Be able to heal on up, so they lose their support, but look at this. Invasion are like, well, we're here, and now we'll pop out the Treants and just continue to siege on forward this bottom lane, now going for tier 2. Still no Eye of the Storm leveled up and at the ready, but he's so close to level 9.
I'm telling you, man, this is the secret for First Departure. Well, I don't even know if you can call it a secret, because they did the exact same thing with them last time, just run them over early. Granted, some of these arrows were ridiculous, but the lanes already look pretty damn good to begin with. As Hana tries to walk in, Razor doing work though. He's going to turn Eye of the Storm at the ready. Miracle trapped out, will go down. No ultimate to escape. And now Palosson's going to run the hell away. This is a train wreck already.
It's the same First Departure team we just saw beat out Team Malaysia. Well, they might give him... Oh, no, they won't. They won't take that Razor. He goes down all the way to about 30 life, but then gets a little bit of assistance and will TP on out. They walk away with another tower takedown, like 2 different fights. They'd taken the tier 1 previously. This is looking like a pretty quick start here for game number 1, Invasion, who've been waiting on the sidelines to see who their opponent was. First Departure looked really good. They made impressive work against Team Malaysia twice now in this tournament, but Invasion, this is going to be a huge set of confidence if they can quickly take down First Departure in game 1.
Oh, and they're in great position to do it. 7,500 gold lead, lane ward plop down to set up more arrow or blink clap pickoffs, and there's no reason to stop. You've just seen an Invoker try to pick up a Midas against a Razor Brew with an early blink mech. You just keep on taking towers, Dakota. You go mid, you take the tier 1, maybe even go for the tier 2 if they can find a pickoff here, which they might well be able to. They still haven't used Brew Split. Like, that's how far ahead they are. They're taking all these towers without the Brew Split. Tier 2, mid lane, you can't defend this First Departure. Have to split push, but they don't split push quickly because they've got heroes which don't really damage buildings. Aside from Invoker if he gets a Necrovoke, but he's nowhere near it, and yeah, it's a problem. It's a big
pounce on Razor, but they counter back, jumping clap. Miracle's brought down pretty low, and there's going to be your first real split, and now just Razor turning attention towards that tier 2. He still has Eye of the Storm to work with, but they just press up onto the high ground and easily take down Invoker as if it was nothing. Now they go back, tier 2 lift up, and I don't know. It looks like Invasion just have a siege train happening here, and there's no
high ground. Why not? You just killed off the Invoker. I don't know if you really should. I think at this point, the safe play is to back off, but they've got their Necro book. They're just going to say, screw it. Let's break the base now. Arrow coming through. Miracle. Caught out again, and first departure. Honestly, like, I wouldn't even say it's too early to GG out. They're down 10k gold. Sure, the Bruce split is down, but I don't think they can stop Invasion here. The mech's still ready. Even if you catch someone, there's that defensive disruption. Necro book number 3 is about to be out, and they're going to lose their tower. Glyph already popped. Selena Brack's pretty much down. Why would you back? What are First Departure going to do about this? Still no Blink Dagger on your center. He's not even close.
Oh, they take down Skywrath. Made good pressure there, but they have that defensive disruption. They keep moving forward. They take Invoker again. Skywrath is actually forced to buy back at this point. Miracle pounces forward, doesn't get a lock on anyone. And
if they want to play the safe, they could go get the Necro 3. No, they're just waiting for the GG, and here you go.
So it only takes 13 minutes for Invasion to just quickly take game number 1 in this best of 5. It's going to be First Departure who's just going to have to shake this one off and look to come right back.
Just ugly. Absolutely ugly. That was the exact same strategy they used against First Departure in at least one of the 2 games yesterday. Like, I think they had a Death Prophet and a Razor one of the games, but First Departure just struggle against these early game timing pushes. And it's, again, I'm surprised Malaysia didn't go for more of it. It worked in game 1. They didn't try it in game 2 or 3, but we could see. You ban Death Prophet, doesn't matter. Razor fits the build just fine. Get that early mech and go to work. Now, granted, I mean, let's give credit where credit is due. ADTR played an amazing Mirana. Like, 3 clutch arrows early.
Yep.
Broke the game open for them, but I think even without that, First Departure still would have struggled. Maybe they don't lose this, but they would have fallen behind early for sure.
Yeah, Centaur wasn't getting a lot done in his off lane. He was already booted out from there. We saw a disaster gank attempt in the mid lane, notorious amount of times from First Departure, but we'll have to see here as we get ready to go into game number 2 what they're going to do. Do they just go more for Protect 1 and just build up ultra defenses, or do they still try to see if they can contest a mid game with something of their own?
I think you maybe consider banning Razor, or even taking it. Like, you got to do something to disrupt this game plan. So either you do that, or you just got to play less greedy. Like, Slark mid lane against Razor, it requires too much support to be effective. And he actually CS well early, but what Slark bring to the table around that 10-minute mark? Not that much. And then they ran the Invoker, went for Midas. I don't think you can do that much. It doesn't even sound that greedy, but maybe bust out something like a Jakiros, something like a Tidehunter, something that can hold the towers better, take the brew away from them. More early game, at least a little bit more, just to hang on. And we've seen First Departure do that before, getting more AoE heroes to pair with like the Naga Siren, but they're not going to get Naga unless they manage to win a game without it. So they'll have to find another solution.
We'll have to see. Game 1 goes real quick, but we got plenty more to come here. Game number 2 about to fire on up, and we'll see if First Departure can bounce on back. In these games, so crucial, these teams fighting it out to make it here at the Summit, and a shot at over $250,000 of prize pool money.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's a lot of money, so you can't just give these ones up like that, but we'll see. We'll be right back in just a moment. And if you'd like what you heard, I guess I got to do a bit of a small plug, right? Catch me on my Twitter at Cuddle Guy. Catch him on LD Dota. Pleasure as always, folks. We'll be back in a hot second.